You're trusting your property management company to find a qualified tenant for your rental. So it's important to know what they're doing in terms of screening of potential tenants. My name is Danielle Ohlms and I'm the broker and owner at Keyrenter St. Property Management. Today I'm diving into our tenant screening process and how we select tenants for our landlords. First off, it's important to know how crucial it is to have a vigorous tenant screening process. This is make it or break it time for you and your rental. In the 10 years I've been managing rental properties, I've only had 3 evictions, and it all comes down to the initial screening that we have in place. It is so important. So now let's talk a little bit about the screening process. All of the occupants that are 18 years old and older are required to apply for the property. Each applicant fills out an application and is required to submit a copy of their ID, 2 months of paycheck stubs, and proof of any other income, as well as any other documentation that we might request. Once the application is submitted, we contact their employer directly. The employer is asked to complete a reference form on the applicant, and we also speak with the employer on the phone to verify employment. Our screening team has been trained on red flags that may be a sign that the employer is not actually the applicant's employer, like they're having a friend pose as their boss. We're also well trained on spotting fake paycheck stubs as well. While we're waiting on the employer reference, we start reaching out to the current and past landlords. The landlord is asked to complete a reference form, and we also speak with them on the phone. Again, our team is trained to spot those red flags that the landlord may not be the true landlord. I can't count how many people I've busted having their friend or relative pose as their landlord. I even caught someone doing it on one of my own rental properties years ago. Along with the employment and rental reference, we also are reviewing credit in detail. We have a minimum credit score requirement, but we're also looking what's on their credit in terms of debt, past due debt, late pays, bankruptcies, evictions, everything. Just because they meet a certain credit score doesn't mean they automatically pass our credit check. And then we also conduct a thorough background check. We're searching the national, state, and local registry. We check their social media accounts as well, looking to see if they have pets, who they're living with, and more. We are even screening the pets. We have a third-party screening service that screens all animals. If a tenant has an emotional support animal, that company collects the required documentation. If it's a pet, we can view photos, pet records, and everything else. Once we have collected all that information, which usually takes somewhere between 1 and 3 business days, we review the screening and determine if the applicant meets our criteria. If they do, then we move forward. If not, then we send the tenant a denial notice. Again, tenant screening is so important. We don't deviate from our screening criteria. Our landlords trust us to find the best possible tenants for them, and we take that job very seriously. If you have questions, give me a call at 636-707-2000. I'd love to discuss how our property management company can help you with your tenant screening.